We'll also be excited about the temperatures working their way in today, but then it's not going to last all that long. More ups and downs in the forecast. So starting off this morning with temperatures on either side of 50 across all of southeastern Michigan, 52 in the city, upper 40s from Ann Arbor, Pontiac, and into Monroe. Now, southeasterly winds for at least the first part of the day will help usher in the warmth from the south before we start to see those winds shift from the west and then to the northwest as we head into tomorrow. But right now, that southerly flow, gusts between about 15 to 20 miles per hour, will definitely help get us into the 60s today. But warm front will scoot by and then it's chased by a pretty strong cold front. So that's why we have just that little window of warmth before that colder air mass behind that secondary front will work its way in. First bell today for your school day forecast, just close to 50 degrees, and then we'll be into the 60s this afternoon. A lot of folks probably struggling to crack 70, but if you get a little more sunshine working in compared to the few spotty showers that are in the forecast, you have a better chance. But the spotty showers are more likely in our southern communities. You'll notice the winds picking up heading into the afternoon, and that's when we start to see more of that westerly flow throughout the dinner hour. Wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. That's also the time frame when those rain chances increase some. You see, this isn't a widespread event. This is going to be scattered, very spotty into the afternoon, and this will be probably just after the lunch hour, maybe right before the dinner hour is that little window for rain. So between 2-3 o'clock, you start to see some of those spotty showers develop to our south, and then they're out of here. But what I need to point out, better chance for precipitation heading into tomorrow. And it's going to be a wintry mix. Rain with a few wet snowflakes mixing in by 8-9 o'clock, and we could hold on to that little mixed precip through the lunch hour before drying things out into the afternoon. Besides that mixed precipitation, we'll have really gusty winds in the forecast. And we're not talking about that southerly flow like we have today, wind shifting out of the northwest. So by this evening, we have the westerly flow, 30 mile per hour wind gusts around 7. But then as we head into tomorrow, especially 1 o'clock onward, we're in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range, and those arrows coming out of the northwest staying there all the way through the evening where we're still in that range. And so that's going to be blustery, where the wind chill readings will be in the 30s tomorrow. So we tumble 20 degrees temperature wise, 60s today, 40s tomorrow, but it's going to feel like a bigger swing because it doesn't feel like we get out of the 30s with those wind chills. So it'll feel 30 degrees colder come tomorrow. We start to slowly climb out of it. Some sunshine working in Wednesday, Thursday. Next chance for rain arrives on Good Friday. So I started the clock at midnight Friday morning. Rain starts to move in pre-dawn hours, and we'll hold on to waves of showers. Better chance for a few embedded thunderstorms as we head into Friday evening. And that's where we could see some of that convection, so I'm not going to rule out a rumble of thunder or two. And then maybe a few little lingering showers early Saturday before we dry things out during the day. And by Easter Sunday, any rain should stay well south of the state line. So with the rain on Friday and the chance for a few storms, we get close to 70. But then we get that reality check for the upcoming holiday weekend, Saturday, Sunday, either side of 60. And those Easter egg hunts on Easter Sunday morning should be dry.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
We have a lovely Monday on tap for you, but then things get a little dicey.
Yeah, it's a little bumpy this week, to say the least. But at least we have some of the ups with the downs. It's not just all, a stretch of below average.
It doesn't work out well when Monday's the pick day.
True, but I mean that helps because Mondays are tough.
Yeah, it gets you through.
A little sunshine would be nice.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like we have a ton of sun out there, but at least we will get some of those warmer temperatures building in today. And I'm optimistic that we'll see a few breaks in the clouds here and there before we have the increase in cloud cover going into this afternoon with some rain chances. Now, I will say out of the gate here, not everyone is going to need an umbrella today. These will be spotty rain chances, and we'll pinpoint that in just a moment here. But taking a live look at the Rensen and downtown Detroit this morning, even a little boat out there. Looks like someone might be fishing on the Detroit River, and it's probably not too chilly. I mean, we're sitting at 51 degrees right now at 7:30 this morning in the city. 45 out in Ann Arbor, same in Pontiac, 46 in Monroe. Southeasterly winds will continue to warm us up a little bit before we start to see more of that shift come out of the west later on this afternoon. But it's the southerly flow. We have gusts around 15 miles per hour right now, so warming things up. Heading into the afternoon, 67, the forecasted high. Spotty rain chances could begin as early as the lunch hour. I think a better chance after 2 p.m. And then we'll push that out of here and have maybe even a mix of some sun and clouds before that sun sets. But you'll start to notice the winds picking up this afternoon. So we could have those 30 mile per hour gusts, westerly winds late this afternoon, and then that shifts more out of the northwest by tomorrow. And that allows those temperatures to tumble. But in the meantime, those rain chances are scattered this afternoon, especially after about 2 o'clock. So you see this is not a widespread event. So walking you through the timeline where you see we pick up a little bit of green between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. That's south of I-94, and there's those spotty chances. So I think that if you're joining us in the northern tier of southeastern Michigan, you probably dodge this. And then as we head into tomorrow, better chance for all of us to see a scattered variety of precipitation that could be a little rain and some wet snowflakes. Yeah, you go from 60s to a wintry mix. And so that's a look at 8:30 in the morning, and that persists into the lunch hour before we push that out into the afternoon. So it won't be an all-day event, but first half of the day could bring some wintry precipitation. Wind gust forecast, by the time we get that precipitation out tomorrow, you'll notice the winds really picking up. So by this evening, we're in that 30-mile-per-hour range out of the west, but as we progress into tomorrow afternoon, after 1 o'clock, now we're talking 30 to 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and that northwesterly flow will be pulling in that Canadian air mass, and so we hold on to really gusty conditions even through the evening. So if you're putting the trash cans out tonight, tomorrow's trash day, they could be tumbled over by the later part of tomorrow with 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Winds will start to die down a little as we head into tomorrow evening, and we'll see some improvement. But temperatures versus the wind chills, this is worth pointing out that we take a 20-degree dip tomorrow afternoon for highs, so we go from mid to upper 60s to mid to upper 40s, but it's going to feel more like a 30-degree dip when you factor in those winds, because wind chills will not exceed the 30s tomorrow. So our next precipitation maker will likely be rain. In fact, we could have a few embedded thunderstorms as we warm up on Good Friday and we get rain coming in. So the first part of the day, we have some wet weather. This should be benign, but by the time we get into the later part of the evening hours, now we could have a few embedded thunderstorms by the time we get to 6, 7 o'clock. We'll be fine-tuning this. We're still several days out, but nonetheless, there's enough convection with that could bring us a few scattered strong storms. Now by Saturday, maybe a drip or drop lingers into the early part of the day, but by Easter Sunday, that rain stays south of here, so it should be a dry Easter forecast for any Easter egg hunts, and Saturday and Sunday will be seasonal, either side of 60, coming off a near 70-degree day on Friday. So there's the ups and downs for you. We have 40s, 50s, and 60s in the forecast, and you'll likely be grabbing the umbrella with that warm up by Friday.